Good morning. This is Andrew DeFranza from Harborlight Community Partners. I am in the basement of TurtleCreek, 401 Essex Street in Beverly. It is April 2nd. Lovely day outside, birds singing. Winter is officially over. Congratulations. But we are thinking a lot about winter while we're here because we've been doing a rehab of TurtleCreek over the last 6 months, a very big project, and a major part of the project was to improve the energy efficiency. We did a number of things, including adding 2 inches of insulation all around the building, new high-efficiency windows, wrapping all the building with Tyvek, and a variety of other features. Some of the features that are related to this room are pretty interesting, and we wanted to tell you about those. We actually switched in the process from oil heat to gas heat, so we are now running on gas heat. We had to do a transfer in the winter where we were running temporarily out of a big truck in the parking lot, which was pretty interesting. And then switch over to gas heat. We had to turn one heat system on and one off at the same time and switch them. But 2 of the elements then, as a result of switching to gas, that happened is we were able to bring in these super high efficiency Viessmann boilers, which are these 2 big boxes you see over here. This machine now and all of the electronics you see to the right makes it look kind of like a space shuttle. And it's very high-end, German engineered, high efficiency system, over 95% efficient, gas fired, and this is where all of the hot water for the domestic and the baseboard heat comes for the entire building of TurtleCreek. You'll see that there's a computer here now and a computer system over here, and we're able now through electronic controls and the internet even to control the heat and the various temperature at a distance over the internet, which is pretty amazing. So our efficiency level is going to go up tremendously. Over here, on this side, you can see all of the controls of the Viessmann. Just come off here. So it looks like a computer. It's kind of like a very large iPod on the top of the boiler. This is where all of the heat gets controlled. It can tell you what the building temperature is, as well as the temperature of the water inside the tank. It will also tell you when it's running and when it's not running. Right now I believe it's not running because there's no little flame in the corner. If there was a flame in the corner, you'd be able to tell that it was on and heating water right in this box. But what's interesting is the sound difference between when it's heating water and when it's not heating water is very minor. So it wouldn't be much louder than this when it's running. This is an amazing system. We're really glad to have it. Grateful to everybody that worked on it, from Martin's Constructions and all of their vendors. The interesting part about this is that it gets a little more intriguing if you come over here. The way that this works is the hot water from the boilers pipes in across the ceiling into these tanks. And there's a coil inside these tanks. The water comes in from the street into the coil and it's cold. And around the coil is all the hot water from the boiler. This keeps the water really hot in here, and they can see how hot at any given time, and it heats up the water that's inside the coil, but it never actually touches. The heat exchanges from the hot water that's coming in here into the coil. So it's almost like you're boiling, there's the inside of this machine, the boiling water is heating up the water that's in the coil that's now going to go out to all of the senior residents in this building. And that's how this system works. It's much more efficient, much longer lasting, and it's pretty amazing. But it gets even a little stranger and cooler, in my opinion, as we go, which is outside of this wall is a system called a cogeneration system, or sometimes referred to as combined heat and power, that was made by Aegis Systems in Massachusetts. And what that machine does, it's essentially the size of a small car. And what it does is it also heats water outside. That machine is heating water. It's a big, big box and it heats water. When it heats water, it comes through here. It comes through the ceiling and comes into this system. In these little boxes here, there's one here, one over here, it is also a heat exchanger. So it interacts with the water. If you remember, I had said that there's a big boiling water inside of this tank that's in the open space, and the coil is inside that boiling water. Well, that boiling water inside the tank interacts over here with the heat exchanger. So hot water comes in from the outside, and heats up the water that's in these tanks as well. So it's fed from the boiler and it's fed from the cogen. The beauty is that the cogen outside this wall, when it heats hot water, the reason it's called combined heat and power is in the process it also makes electricity. So think about like the alternator in your car. When your motor runs, it spins a flywheel and it turns the wheel and it makes power. That power then feeds your automobile, your lights, your stereo, other things. It's very much the same. This machine runs outside and it boils water. In the effort of boiling water, it makes electric power. That electric power then can be used to feed this building. So we are making our own electricity right outside this wall, and probably at another day we'll show you when that's running what that looks like. We make the electricity right on site, and that electricity means that TurtleCreek buys electricity from the power grid, which is pretty amazing. That hot water then comes in here, as I said, and through this heat exchanger right here, it transfers its heat to the water that's in these boilers, that's in these hot water heaters, which means that the boilers don't have to work as hard. So there will be times in the year where these boilers will not even run because the cogen is going to be heating all the hot water we need for the building, making us electricity right on site, which means we're more efficient, we don't buy as much electric power, and heating all the hot water we need to make sure that the coils in here are warm. That will also mean that these boilers will not run as often and they will last longer. So we will have more efficient heat because we're using gas instead of oil. We have more efficient use of the boilers because they're not running all the time. And we have this cogeneration system outside which is going to make power for us on site. So it's pretty amazing. It's an amazing system. If you're interested, you could check out Aegis, A-E-G-I-S, online. If you'd be interested in seeing what a cogen system looks like. And if anybody is interested in checking it out, we're happy to have you over for a visit. I think it's amazing. It's like being inside of the space shuttle. And so I think I'm going to actually just pull up a chair when this is all done and running and just watch it go and imagine the cost savings that are happening in real time. We're also going to be able to see that online, which is the cogeneration system is hooked up to the internet as well. And we're going to be able to track all of the kilowatt hours that we are making while we're heating the building. And we'll be able to see how much money we're saving in electricity because we're making our own power. So big congratulations to Martins and to Helco and to Bilo and all of the folks who were involved in making this system work, and to Aegis for making the cogen. We're really grateful to everybody's participation, all of the funders, including the Department of Housing and Urban Development, home funds through the City of Beverly, Boston Private Bank, the Institution for Savings, Mass Housing Investment Corporation, and Mass Development. So we're delighted to have everybody involved, and we're really looking forward to seeing this thing up and running next winter. Thanks a lot for your interest. We'll look forward to seeing you again.